January 23rd, 2014, 4:30 a.m. Miami Beach, Florida. Two supercars tear through a quiet residential street. A yellow Lamborghini chasing a red Ferrari. Engines screaming at more than 55 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Police lights flash, the race ends. Behind the wheel of the Lamborghini is a 19-year-old with bleached hair, glassy eyes, and the smell of alcohol and marijuana clinging to his clothes. He slurs at the officer, curses, resists arrest. His name is Justin Bieber. Within hours, the charges pile up. DUI, drag racing, driving on an expired license. Toxicology reports later reveal marijuana and Xanax in his system. Then comes the image that seals the moment, Bieber's mugshot, grinning in an orange jumpsuit. A photo that spreads across the world and becomes a symbol of pop stardom spiraling out of control. Just a few years earlier, this same kid was a 13-year-old from Stratford, Ontario, uploading cover songs from his bedroom to YouTube. At 15, he was a global sensation. At 17, one of the richest young celebrities on earth. At 19, he was labeled a disaster, proof that fame could break someone before adulthood even begins. This was Justin Bieber's fall, a meteoric rise followed by reckless behavior, substance abuse, toxic influences, and an industry that never said stop. The moment when the world's most adored teen became its favorite target, and the moment he completely lost himself. Justin Drew Bieber was born on March 1st, 1994, in London, Ontario, to teenage parents who separated shortly after he arrived. Raised by his mother, Patty Mallet, in modest housing in Stratford, life was never easy. Money was tight. Stability was fragile. But Justin had one refuge: music. By 4, he was banging out rhythms on drums. By 10, he had taught himself piano, guitar, and trumpet. Music wasn't just talent, it was survival. In 2007, everything changed quietly. At just 12 years old, Justin entered a local singing competition. Patty uploaded the clip to YouTube so family could watch. Then she posted more, Justin singing soulful covers from their living room. Views multiplied fast. Hundreds became thousands. Thousands became millions. One accidental click changed his life forever. Scooter Braun, a music executive, stumbled upon one of Justin's videos and immediately recognized something rare. Not just a good voice, presence, star energy. Braun tracked down Patty, flew to Stratford, and persuaded her to let him manage her son. Within months, Justin was in Atlanta meeting Usher. By 14, he was signed. By 15, his debut single cracked the Billboard Hot 100. His first album went platinum. Justin Bieber was no longer a kid with a webcam. He was a global product. Then the explosion came. Between 2010 and 2012, Bieber became unavoidable. His fans, the Beliebers, were relentless and devoted. Concerts dissolved into screaming chaos. Hotels were besieged. His second album debuted at #1. His concert film earned nearly $100 million. Time named him one of the most influential people alive. Forbes ranked him among the highest paid young celebrities in the world. But fame came at a brutal cost. Justin was working non-stop, touring, recording, promoting, performing, with no room to grow up. Paparazzi followed his every move. Mistakes became headlines. Immaturity became scandal. Privacy vanished. His high-profile relationship with Selena Gomez only intensified the pressure. Every argument, every breakup, every reconciliation played out publicly. He wasn't allowed to be young, confused, or imperfect. By 2012, warning signs were everywhere. Missed concerts, public confrontations, reckless behavior. But the image remained polished. To the world, Justin Bieber was still the golden boy. Behind the scenes, the foundation was already cracking. The worst was still ahead. 2013 was the year Justin Bieber's carefully crafted image collapsed in real time. What once looked like immaturity now felt like self-destruction. Controversy followed controversy, and it became painfully clear. Justin wasn't just acting out. He was unraveling, and no one was pulling the brakes. It began with exhaustion. In March, he showed up late to a London concert yet again, angering parents and fans. Days later, he collapsed backstage and was rushed to the hospital, his body pushed beyond its limits. Still, the tour continued. Rest was never an option. Then came the headlines. A confrontation with a neighbor in Calabasas over reckless driving turned physical. Weeks later, he abandoned his pet monkey in Germany after customs issues, sparking global outrage. The animal was seized and sent to a zoo, another symbol of Bieber's growing irresponsibility. April made things worse. During a visit to the Anne Frank house, Justin wrote that he hoped Anne would have been a believer. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Critics called it narcissistic and deeply insensitive. Intentions didn't matter anymore. Perception had turned against him. Police raided his tour bus in Sweden after smelling marijuana. Fans tackled him on stage in Dubai. At the Billboard Music Awards, he was booed while accepting an honor meant to celebrate his success. The applause had turned to resentment. Then came July. A leaked video showed Justin urinating in a mop bucket at a nightclub and vandalizing a photo of Bill Clinton. It went viral. Apologies followed, but the damage was irreversible. The Golden Boy now looked entitled, reckless, and out of control. The rest of the year blurred into chaos. Vandalism charges in Brazil, assault accusations in Canada, disturbing photos, lawsuits, rumors, scandals piling on top of scandals. Years later, Justin would admit the truth. Heavy drug use, pills, lean, alcohol, all attempts to numb the pressure of impossible fame. And the people around him let it happen. On Christmas Eve 2013, he tweeted that he was officially retiring. It felt like the end. It wasn't. January 2014 was waiting, and everything was about to explode. January 14th, 2014. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department descended on Justin Bieber's Calabasas mansion over something that sounded almost absurd, an egg-throwing incident. Investigators alleged Bieber had pelted a neighbor's home, causing nearly $20,000 in damage. But the raid quickly became something much darker. Inside the house, authorities found cocaine. One of Bieber's friends was arrested on felony drug charges. Justin himself wasn't taken into custody, but the image was devastating. A 19-year-old multimillionaire vandalizing homes, surrounded by drugs, behaving like a spoiled caricature of fame gone wrong. 9 days later, everything collapsed. In the early hours of January 23, 2014, Justin Bieber was pulled over in Miami Beach while drag racing a rented yellow Lamborghini against a red Ferrari. Police said he smelled strongly of alcohol, had bloodshot eyes, failed sobriety tests, and resisted arrest while cursing at officers. Toxicology reports later revealed marijuana and Xanax in his system. The arrest instantly went global. Then came the mugshot. Bieber grinning in an orange jumpsuit. To the public, it looked smug, defiant, untouchable. The photo became an instant symbol of his downfall. Bieber would later say the smile was fear, not arrogance, but the damage was done. America turned on him. News networks ran wall-to-wall coverage. More than 270,000 people signed a White House petition demanding his deportation back to Canada. The message was unmistakable. The goodwill was gone. Rolling Stone sealed the narrative in March 2014, slapping Bad Boy across its cover and detailing his drug use, reckless behavior, and toxic inner circle. Then more blows followed. Leaked videos of a teenage Bieber using racist language. Another arrest in Canada for dangerous driving and assault. By mid-2014, Justin Bieber wasn't a star. He was a punchline. Mocked by comedians, parodied on television, rejected by parents and critics alike. At just 20 years old, the world's biggest pop star had become its favorite cautionary tale. And then, he vanished. For much of 2014 and early 2015, Justin Bieber went quiet. No new music, no tours, no spotlight. For the first time since childhood, the noise stopped, and he was left alone with the wreckage of his own life. This period would later be described by Justin as the darkest chapter he'd ever lived through. He was deeply addicted to drugs, especially lean and prescription pills. Anxiety ruled him. Depression followed close behind. Years of non-stop fame had stripped away his sense of identity, leaving him unsure of who he was without the screaming crowds. The people he once trusted were gone, replaced by enablers who benefited from his chaos. In later interviews, Justin spoke with painful honesty about this time. Daily drug use, pills to calm his nerves, party drugs to escape reality. It wasn't rebellion, it was self-medication. A young man trying to survive pressure no teenager was built to handle. But slowly, something changed. Justin began attending Hillsong Church and reconnecting with his faith, something that had grounded him before fame swallowed his life. He started therapy. He cut ties with toxic influences. For the first time, the work wasn't about repairing his image. It was about saving himself. Then came music. In early 2015, a collaboration with Skrillex and Diplo marked a turning point. The sound was mature, emotional, restrained, and the world paid attention. The song became a massive hit, reminding everyone that beneath the chaos was real talent. On November 13, 2015, Justin released his fourth studio album, Purpose. The title said everything. It was an apology, a confession, and a rebirth. The singles dominated global charts, breaking records and reshaping public perception. Critics praised the album as his most honest and complete work. Fans embraced it as proof of growth. The Purpose World Tour followed, grossing over $250 million. Justin was back on top, but still healing. The pace reopened old wounds. In July 2017, he canceled the final tour dates, choosing mental health over momentum. For the first time, Justin Bieber didn't run. He stopped and chose himself. After canceling his tour in 2017, Justin Bieber withdrew from the public eye once more. But this time, it wasn't a descent into chaos. Instead, it was a conscious step toward healing. In 2018, he married model Hailey Baldwin in a private, intimate ceremony. For the first time, Justin prioritized stability over spectacle. Faith, therapy, and meaningful relationships replaced the relentless pursuit of fame. Music could wait, his recovery could not. By 2019, he began speaking candidly about the heavy burdens he had carried for years. He admitted feeling unworthy, broken, and like an imposter in his own life. Depression, lingering trauma from being a child star, and chronic physical illnesses, Lyme disease and mono, had left him drained, mentally and physically. Fans and the public had only seen headlines and scandals. Now, they glimpsed the man behind the tabloid persona. In January 2020, Justin released a documentary series on YouTube, offering unprecedented honesty. He openly detailed his past drug use, struggles with anxiety, dependence on antidepressants, and the long-term neurological effects of substance abuse. No excuses, no sugarcoating, just accountability. It was a vulnerable confession from a man who had once been lost, and the world listened. The response was profound. Mental health advocates praised his transparency, and fans who had written him off began to reconsider their judgment. The narrative shifted. Justin Bieber wasn't a villain. He was a child star who had survived an industry that prioritized profit over protection. In 2020 and 2021, he returned to music with albums centered on love, personal growth, and redemption. Both albums topped charts globally, signaling that the artist had matured and was creating on his own terms. Yet challenges continued. In 2022, Justin revealed he had been diagnosed with Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, a neurological condition causing partial facial paralysis, forcing him to cancel tour dates. The world saw his vulnerability, a stark reminder that even at the top, life could still knock him down. By 2023, he parted ways with longtime manager Scooter Braun, asserting full control over his career. By 2024, he became a father, a husband, and a grounded adult. January 23, 2014. Miami. The mugshot. Justin Bieber grinning in an orange jumpsuit, frozen in time as a symbol of everything the world thought had gone wrong. To millions, that single image represented the ultimate cautionary tale. A child star ruined by fame, ego, and excess. A kid who had it all and threw it away. But that photograph was never the end of the story. It was the breaking point that forced a reckoning. Justin Bieber's downfall wasn't just about reckless choices or bad behavior. It was about a boy who became famous at 13, who never had the space to fail privately, to grow slowly, to learn without consequences broadcast to millions. It was about an industry that kept pushing, demanding more tours, more hits, more access, long after the kid at the center was exhausted, anxious, and unraveling. Profit mattered, protection didn't. What followed wasn't instant redemption. It was years of pain, therapy, faith, relapse, reflection, and confronting hard truths. Justin had to face who he had become, and who he had lost along the way. He had to admit he was broken before he could begin repairing himself. And that's what makes this story different. Justin Bieber survived. He chose help over denial, growth over ego, healing over applause. He became someone willing to speak openly about depression, addiction, and anxiety, not as branding, but as raw reality. He used his scars instead of hiding them, quietly helping normalize vulnerability for millions struggling in silence. There is a version of this story that ends in tragedy, where the drugs win, where the pressure becomes unbearable, where another young star becomes another headline, another statistic. That didn't happen. The kid in the mugshot is gone. In his place stands a man who grew up under impossible circumstances, who stumbled publicly, who fell hard, and who got back up anyway. A husband, a father, an artist on his own terms. A human still imperfect, still healing, still learning. Justin Bieber's fall was spectacular, but his survival, his decision to keep moving forward, is what truly matters. His journey is proof that even the deepest struggles can be overcome. If Justin's story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to follow more real-life stories of struggle, redemption, and resilience.